Hello everybody and welcome to the Cardboard Cooperative. This is your host Magna, and today we will be taking the first bite out of Arms of God. Arms of God is a survivor style game that gives me some serious Diablo meets Doom vibes. Let's go ahead and dive right in and create a new order. We're going to name this Cooperative. Let's make aiming mode manual, and then let's see our weapons cooldown, because I do like to see those kinds of informations. Did not expect a cutscene.
The weapon is ready. Templar, fulfill your sacred duty.
Mechanical arms on the back, huh? Where I'm going to be keeping all of my arms of God.
Rebuild our order and stop the apocalypse.
Oh, that's sick. That's really cool. Okay. You cannot receive permanent blessings while the cathedral remains in the hands of the damned. The sacred place must be reclaimed and purified. Start the crusade. Oh. Different. Hey, it is Diablo, Mercy, Nightmare, Inferno, huh? Act 1 all the way to Act 4. It is Diablo. In the Shadow of Ruins. If you guys would like to go ahead and read that description, you can pause now. Otherwise, let's dive right in and see what we've got going on. We have multiple Templars here, as well as lots of different weapons. Machine gun, sawn-off shotgun, a magnum, sniper rifle, a cutter, recharger, vortex emitter, twin spark, scalding crossbows. Shock maul sounds like a lot of fun. Big heavy hammer, lightning attack, let's go. I do love me a good lightning based weapon after all. Move your character WASD, attacks are triggered automatically once it comes to range of the weapon. Alright. I'm assuming stay near the... Do I need to stay near the cross? Alright, what's going on here? What is this? It's a banner of some sort. Alright, melee in action RPGs is always a little bit more difficult than if you are playing a ranged class. Let's wait until I have an automatic weapon on my back before I try to take this banner. Nope, I can pick it up right now. Liking the graphics so far. Purchase, sacrifice collected souls to purchase weapon upgrades and global navigate using WASD. You can hold up to 5 weapons at a time. Purchase one of the available weapons now. All right. So far, so brotato. Twin spark. Let's just go with a true lightning build. I think is the way to do this. I can attach it to this arm, and that is the end of my purchase. Let's go ahead and exit this. Oh, that is not how to exit the shop. How do I leave the shop? Tab? That's not it either. Oh, wait. How does this work? I start a new crusade? Oh, okay. The crusade is each wave. Gotcha. Collect souls to level up. All right. Looks like there's not a pickup. Everything just gets auto picked up at the end of my run here. So it is showing a 2 of 4, so I want to run around and grab these as much as possible and see what kind of achievements or permanent stuff I unlock. Regeneration activates after a few seconds, depends on the character stats. Okay, try not to take damage and you'll recover. Complete the path of the crux. Interesting. So I don't have to worry about walking over to pick everything up. All statistics have global impact on your character and all weapons, okay? Blessings modify character stats and globally affect all weapons. Purchase one of them. Increases speed and rarity, fine. Let's do Sacred Reap. Increases resources and rarity, fine. So we'll do that. Refresh the available options to find a new weapon. cutter bounces off enemies. Scalding crossbow bounces off enemies or pierces enemies. Cutter sounds good. Is this a system in which I want to be scaling them? They also have upgrades. There's a lot of stuff going on with the weapon system in this game. Loving the graphics as well. Okay, so this isn't some... Welcome to Blackwater. Alright, let's go looking around the map, see if there's more of those cruxes anywhere. Why are these guys running away from me? They don't want to be fighting? Oh, it's because they're spitters. Oh, what is this? A chest? Loot. Okay. If everything gets picked up at the end. Alright, so it is a very small arena overall. We are looking at a potato style game with a Doom-like soundtrack and Diablo-like skills. I'm enjoying the combination. We'll see how deep this game goes, though. It is an early access title. If you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and leave a Steam link in the description below. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. Upgrades enhance individual weapons by adding special upgrades rather, like adding projectiles or enabling them to bounce off of enemies. Increase attack speed minus stagger. Increases holy damage but minus life steal. Lots of give and take in this game, it looks like. What if I increase the... Can I unattach the upgrades? It does not look like I can take them off. So once they're on, they are done. Wounding bullets. Change type to airstrike. What does that do? Plus electric damage, plus stagger. Why don't we go ahead and do some electric damage over here on our shotgun. Or twin spark, rather. See if I can buy another one. Increases the amount of projectiles being fired, but -1 pierce. Let's attach it over to the cutter, because that has a bounce. And there's a story that goes along with this, huh? Banners around, I see them. We'll go picking those up. And a treasure chest as well. Alright, so lots of different unlockables to find as I am running around these levels. So definitely go around, check out the outskirts of your level. And I'll have to go back to get that edict, I suppose they're called. Are they unlockables or are they just resources that I'm picking up for meta progression? They're probably meta progression resource things. I wonder if I can have a melee weapon on my back. It did show the sword as the character was walking out of the cutscene, so maybe I can have a hammer on my back as well. That'd be pretty sweet. The toolbar there is giving me a little bit of like MMORPG auto attack stuff, you know, manage my rotation. You can find gameplay tips, weapon details, etc, etc. Lightning bullets increases bounce minus pierce. Let's go ahead and attach it over here. Storm Whisperer. Or Storm Whisper. A sawn-off shotgun. Can't buy both. This is a blessing, so this is just electric damage, but another weapon sounds like fun. I can even still buy the blessing. Okay. Into the city. Loving the soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Definitely one to wake you up here. Maybe going with big Thunder Maul weapon in a game like this was not the best idea. What is this? Some sort of scripture? Sermon of Revelation. Some sort of shrine. Okay. We'll take a look at what those do in a minute. I'm curious, and I need to know if they would be worth seeking out or not. So we'll take a look at that. Where's this last banner? Ah, there it is, up there in the corner. I think my only small issue so far is that the impacts don't really feel impactful. Like, I'm swinging around this gigantic weapon and they are just kind of flopping backwards. Weapon merging. Buy a weapon and merge it of the same type to upgrade it. Merging weapons is the key to discovering powerful builds. Experiment with different combinations to unlock stronger weapons. Okay. Shock Maul. I can attach it to this one. Wait. I can attach the maul to my ranged weapon. Oh, the maul just gives like extra stats. Why don't I upgrade to an electro hammer? That sounds like fun. Can I get another weapon? Can't afford it. Darn. Let's get extra range over here on my sawn-off shotgun. Sawed off? I thought it was sawn off. The last bastion. Yeah, the impact is meh at best. The ragdolling is cool. Oh, different enemy types. What is this? Whoa, everything's reversed. Okay, my controls have been reversed for some reason. Not sure I like that. Not sure how that helps me. Slow time way down and all of my inputs have been reversed and the enemies are still walking towards me however they feel like. A corrupted shard. Alright, I'll have to double check what all of these do before I start the next crusade. I want to know what I'm actually getting myself into here. Blessed Sight. A new revelation. It is interesting that each of these maps takes place on a different level, graphically speaking. It is cool seeing multiple levels in the same run, as it were, on a instead of being stuck in a single arena. So I do appreciate the change in scenery as I'm playing. It is also nice that I can take a few hits and eventually get back to healing my HP as well. Oh, I'm shooting out an attack as well. Holy Spear. Ignition bullets cannot bounce off enemies, always pierces. Pierces enemies in a straight line. +1 pierce but minus explosion chance. Why don't I put a melee weapon on my back? Weapons can be combined by inserting it into another one. Upon merging, the combined weapon is lost and some of its stats will not be transferred. That's fine. Electrocuting bullets versus shocking bullets. Attach it here. Let's attach it here. Converter. Lots of electric damage and a bit of lifesteal. I'll attach it there. I could have bought the sniper rifle. I wonder what this would have done. I'm very curious about this build. Okay, let's look at some of this stuff over here. Merging weapons, perks, holy damage, electric melee, events. Contains shards. When open, shards is a persistent resource, are a persistent resource in the cathedral to unlock new upgrades. Shrine grants a temporary blessing when activated. The blessing modifies all character stats until the crux unleashes its explosion. Path of the Crux, the banners of the stations stand abandoned amid ruin and ash. Recover each one to retrace the path of suffering. Complete the progression, completing the procession affirms the Crusader's vows and evokes edicts issued by the Order as a reward for unwavering faith. When the shrine is disrupted, toxic miasma erupts across the battlefield, twisting perception and reversing movement until it's under its suffocating influence. Endured and shards can be claimed, tainted but powerful. Revelation. Once reassembled, the revelation unlocks new paths within the cathedral archives, revealing previously sealed blessing. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm finding these sermons because they will give me some upgrades, some permanent unlocks, it looks like. All right, new event. What is this? Some sort of tainted grail? Kill enemies in the circle, I'm sure. All right, let's draw them all the way back here. Smack them down. Blood Chalice. +4 relics. Okay. What else is in here? It's a pretty smart system so far to show off all of your mechanics. All the different events that can happen. I've already slain 1,000 enemies. That's cool. Love a game that lets me just blow things up. I love the idea of the reason that you have to stay in one place for so long is because you're waiting to purify it with a gigantic holy explosion. It does give some meaning to why you're dealing with these waves endlessly in the first place, so that's pretty cool. As much as I play these games just to be able to turn my brain off for a little bit, because Survivor games are usually pretty brainless affairs. They're just kind of choose the best upgrade, choose the best weapon. Every now and again it is nice to have a reason for why I'm doing it, so having a full-blown story, even though I haven't really been reading it, I'm sure I'll go back and read it at some point. But yeah, having a full-blown story of flare cannon, explosion minus pierce range. You know, this always pierces, right? It has infinite pierce, so -1 doesn't do anything to it. See if I can find a weapon here. I don't want to lose my crit chance, or my electric damage rather. Let's attach this to the spear to get some more range. Sounds like fun. Let's get some Storm Whisper going. This would have been fun to do. +1 projectiles. I wonder what that would have looked like on a melee weapon. Forbidden Sanctum. Fantastic Path of Exile League. One of the most polarizing leagues, though. Definitely lots of builds I couldn't do it. If you know, you know. You either loved it or you absolutely hated it. I was one of the people that loved it, but I was also a madman who played Volcanic Fissure that league. Big giant hammer spewing out lots of volcanoes. So the question is, am I meant to, if I am good enough, am I meant to be able to get to the end of this act on my first go? Where are the other banners? Where am I missing them? I know there are 4 of them. Circle around the arena, run around, avoid getting slapped by these big old demonic guys. Dreadstalker. Am I crazy? I could have sworn maybe there were only 2 of them. Wasn't paying attention. Oh, nope, there's the 4th. There we go. Can't wait to unlock this meta progression system and see what that's about. I'm really hoping to be able... Well, I guess it doesn't make any sense that I can't get to the end of the first act if the entire idea is to unlock the cathedral and get meta progression. Scalding Crossbow. Increases range -1 pierce. Let's go ahead and get increased range for the infinite pierce weapon. Let's refresh. I want to find attack speed minus stagger. Let's make our cutter faster, 0.7 seconds. Or maybe I just go ahead and make the melee weapon faster. I'll make the melee weapons faster. Flare cannon, that's a whole lot of stuff on this. Plus range, plus pierce, plus stagger, minus bounce. So what happens when I attach this? Oh, it even tells me how many enemies each one has killed. Surprisingly, my Thunder Maul did the most damage. Huh. This Holy Sphere has done no damage. I don't really think that's a good pickup. What if I just keep... Okay, what if I convert you... This just gets an explosion chance? What if I just make my big hammer my my build? Big hammer is the build here. Ooh, grenade launcher. Tier 3. I want to make my hammer do an explosion. That sounds like fun. Bro, the soundtrack is so good. Alright, Blood Chalice. Let's go ahead and activate. Get some kills going in it. And then I'll see what it does afterwards. I also need to see what that Dreadstalker entry was about. Getting lots of different unlocks in that codex. Look at how large this thing's swing is. I just feel like there should be more crunch to it, you know? The enemies are just kind of ragdolling, but they're not like going any further back than I guess the physics isn't exactly what I should be worried about. I just like a game with good impact, you know? If I'm going to be swinging around a gigantic freaking hammer using a sawn-off shotgun, I feel like it should have a different impact than something that's just shooting like BB pellets basically. Like this tiny little cutter impact does not seem to be doing much. Maybe that's just me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's just a personal preference that I like to see my melee attacks really send something flying. One of the most satisfying things about getting to play a melee build, it's why you would play a melee build, right, is to see the impact of the weapon, especially something as large as a battle hammer or a sledgehammer. Alright, let's take this grenade launcher. I really just like the idea of making my hammer do a bunch of explosions. So, is this Dreadstalker thing an enemy? It gains the ability to launch projectiles. Why is this the only enemy that has an entry right now? Is it because I've killed like 1,000 of them or something? Every third attack stuns an enemy. Let's add this to the Twin Spark. That sounds like fun. It's attacking real fast too. 0.8 seconds. Let's refresh and see if I can find a better... Each skill use increases weapon critical chance until the wave ends. That sounds really good. Alright, let's... Oh, whoops. That was the wrong... Let's go Crusade. Lots of different events and everything. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Didn't realize it told me the events. I was just kind of like wave start, basically. What do you guys think? Meta progression in games like this, in a survivor style game? I do like the feeling of becoming more powerful as we go through the level. It is always feels good to get a little bit stronger. Alright, something is launching those things over here and I don't know what they do. I wonder if I should be worried. I'm getting surrounded. I can't stop to do the events right now. Yeah, I'm having something get launched at me and I feel like I should stop them from getting to do their thing. It's a lot of bad. A lot of... Maybe I shouldn't stand there. Alright. Stormfall. That sounds like a fun item. Alright, take some time to regenerate real fast. No point in dying this far into the run. That's a lot of stuff that's going on in the middle there that I can't approach. We're just gonna hang out over here on the edge of the map and act like we are not terrified of dying here. Just gonna pretend. Alright, I didn't get the cruxes here. Holy damage, pierces on every critical hit. Alright. Piercing barrel needs a change over here in its text. Small things. Not like it's huge. It's not the most distracting thing in the entire universe. Every third hit stuns an enemy. Every third hit stuns an enemy. Let's put it on the bouncer. Bouncing 2 times with 2 projectiles. Attacking pretty quickly. Health value is locked at 80. What does that mean? Alright, I did not mean to click that. I don't think I should waste my souls here. Alright, we only have so many more before we are safe. Get this temporary effect. Plus 30 range. I wonder if I can make it so that the hammer has enough range to do a 360 around me. Or is the range only the blast that it shoots out? I wonder. There's a lot of information in this game so far with all of the different events and the unlocks that can happen, as well as this weapon merging system, which is pretty cool. I do like the idea of being able to merge these weapons. Getting these codex entries for the monsters seems a bit random because I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've seen the Hellhound. There's a lot of places I can't be standing right now. I really hope the meta progression system is good because I am feeling like I'm getting my butt handed to me, and I don't know if it's my build or the way I'm playing or what's going on, but I am getting destroyed out here. Am I supposed to play it in a single corner and avoid the center of the arena to avoid getting completely surrounded? Probably a good idea, but I kind of feel like it defeats the purpose of having all of these weapons surrounding me on my back. It is also funny, usually when you have a Brotato style game, the weapons are just kind of floating around you. It is nice to have a excuse for why you're able to carry 5 weapons at a time with these mechanical arms on your back. Lifesteal chamber increases lifesteal. Let's get some more attack speed. Let's put it on the, actually let's put it on the maul. This has higher DPS than this does, but this is doing way more damage than this. This is doing twice the amount of damage just compared to something that... how does DPS work in this game? Am I misunderstanding something? +1 projectiles. Put it on. Let's put it on the Thunder Maul. Or Electro Hammer. Shock Disc. Let's start building up a different weapon, because right now this is almost completely useless. These two weapons are the only ones I'm really building, so let's go ahead and get some extra upgrades for my other weapons. Projectiles aren't exactly spreading out very much. I guess the DPS is just how much damage I deal per second, but the raw base damage from the Thunder Maul is probably higher than the other way. Maybe that's in the Twin Shock, because the Twin Shock is attacking a lot faster, but I don't know, maybe I'm coping. Alright, I don't see any banners, I don't see any blood chalice, I don't see any corruption. I do see my health bars depleting, so let's go ahead and stick to the very edge of the arena and try not to get jumped on by these guys. Be nice if the rest of the Crusade was here with me. Not that I'm confident that many of them are still alive. If this is an apocalyptic situation, I haven't exactly been reading the text though of how bad things are. But yeah, so far liking the game. It is an early access title, which is actually kind of surprising. I mean, the blip at the beginning said more weapons, more characters. Eternal Vitality. We'll take that. I like the idea of having more health here. Double barrel plus projectiles. Let's make the sawed-off shotgun double barreled, as if it wasn't already. Change weapon elemental type to fire. Do I want to have a fire? What if I made a fire maul? What if I made a fiery shotgun? Let's make the shotgun a fire type. Alright, we're almost there. We just gotta survive 2 more waves. This wave and 2 more, rather. I'm liking the soundtrack, I'm liking the graphics. I like the idea behind the upgrade system. Hopefully that gets a little bit more expanded upon as I find some more weapons and unlocks, and we'll see how the progression system goes with the meta progression once I unlock that. It is pretty cool that you do have to complete at least the one run in order to get your progression system going. Kind of reminds me of how Bloodborne forces you to defeat the cleric beast before you're allowed to level up, so you don't get to just cheese it. You do have to learn the fight and the mechanics of the game. It helps to be able to know how to parry. Well, as a post? I can't remember what the exact terminology for Bloodborne's counter system was called. If you guys know what it was called, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'd love to be reminded how that game's functionality was, the exact terms, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't called a parry. Oh, I have a dodge roll? What? I haven't been paying attention to that. Alright, I didn't realize I had a combat roll. But rolling means I'm not attacking. Also, where's the cooldown for that? Okay, there it is. It's on my cooldown bar. I did not realize I hadn't looked over here in this bottom right corner. Huh. I'm sure some of you are screaming at me in the comments below right now going, ah, it was there this whole time. I know. But sometimes when you're doing something like this and you're talking the entire time, it's a little difficult to pay attention to. Why don't I make this have an explosion chance? That sounds like fun. No. Changes a weapon's elemental to electric damage. Everything's already electric. Air strike. No. Every third attack freezes an enemy. That sounds good. Let's lock that in. We want some more health. I keep pressing this darn banner up here. All right, we're about to take the chapel back, or the cathedral. Let's go ahead and lock in. No point in dying now. All right, let's dodge out of the way. Now that I know that there is a dodge system. But these are the kinds of things that I enjoy learning about and seeing and realizing that I am misunderstanding. It's part of the reason why the first impression is so important. Now you guys get to learn from my mistakes so you can pick up the game yourself. There's a dodge button, people. Use it. Use it well. But yes, the initial run through of a game usually is the one where you're just kind of on a learning curve, obviously, but some games have steeper learning curves than others. It's probably why I enjoy doing these survivor style games. They usually don't have much of a learning curve. This game does kind of have a little bit of a learning curve, and not necessarily just a movement. And there also, one thing that I do want to point out, I usually end up with a lot of these survivor style games where the enemy variance is either very visual and there's not a whole lot of reason for different types of enemies to exist, or there's usually very simple variations between like melee mobs and range mobs. There's a lot of variation in this game as far as both the visual mobs, even though they're very much blending into the background, if I'm going to be entirely honest. Even though they're being highlighted and everything, they are all red and brown and dark, and so is the entire environment. So they're not the most visually distinct compared to the background, but they do have a nice visual style to them. Doom Herald. I have 140 seconds to kill him. Go ahead and take some regeneration time. Full on Call of Duty. But as I was saying, I do appreciate the fact that there's a lot of different enemy types. There seems to be exploders, lots of different projectile shooters, fast enemies, slow, tanky enemy. Well, I say tanky, everything's kind of dying in the same breath. It's a good thing I have all of this extra regeneration. I only have a few seconds to deal with this guy, though. I only have 2 minutes before the crux explodes. Oh, increased damage sounds great. Dodge out of the way of that and right into his fists. Alright, let's buy some time to regenerate. Sacred Reap. I'm greedy. I want the loot. Alright, we'll see whether or not my build stands up to the boss. It's cool having the bosses too. This guy is a cool design, straight out of Doom. Literally called a Doom Herald. Can't wait to see what the other act bosses are. But yes, the whole Mercy Inferno system, the tier system for difficulty, very Diablo-like. Nice full stat screen from the looks of the stat screen. Lots of different numbers to look at. So if you guys have a numbers go up and a stat screen make sure brain feel all sorts of fun, this game might be for you as far as a survivor game goes. Don't know if the Thunder Maul was the right choice now. It's a good thing I have all of this extra health. I keep calling it a Thunder Maul. It's an electro hammer. I like the name of a Thunder Maul though. Pretty sure that's a weapon archetype in Diablo 2 as well. It's a weapon base rather in Diablo 2. Big honkin' hammer. Oh man, I'm not gonna kill him. I don't know what's gonna happen if I fail to kill him, but I'm not going to kill him. I won't die, but I'm not going to win. It's going to end in a draw of some sort. Go ahead and take this regeneration time though. Souls consumed. Okay, does he just run off? Oh no, he just dies to the explosion anyway. Okay. Nice stat screen. Mercy Act 2 has been unlocked. This is the Cathedral, the Templar's hub. From now on, you can start rebuilding new structures that offer various types of upgrades. Start by rebuilding the statue, which grants permanent passive enhancements to your character. Statue of the Revered Mother. Alright. Each building offers a different type of upgrade. Unlock the Crux invocation to harness the power of the cross during combat. Unlock. Is this survivor style gameplay in which we will get, I don't know how many resources I have left down here. I don't have enough crosses or relics to be able to get all this. This is a lot of different resources. Cool. Lots of different upgrades as well. A lot of upgrades here to stick my teeth into. All right, what else do we have going on? The bell tower. Yet rebuild that. The forge. All right, as far as the first bite goes, I think this is good enough for now. Let's go ahead and digest this. So I do like the art style. I do like the combat system so far. Being able to upgrade my guns with all those different modifiers and using them together was pretty cool. Having the different enemy variants kept me on my toes. I wasn't allowed to just sit there and blast away at my enemies. There's a lot of different reasons to be exploring the arena instead of trying to stay in one place. Of course, unless you're attempting to not die in my case, in which case, you know, stay near the edge of the arena rather than trying to fight in the center of it, obviously. The combat system's fine. It's graphically fine. There's nothing that really stands out. There's nothing that really stands out in the graphics because everything is so gray and brown and dark red. It is very fitting of the Diablo style / Doom style graphics that this game says that it was inspired by, so nothing wrong with that. Just everything's gray and dark. I don't think there's anything that I dislike. The soundtrack's pretty cool too, enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to being able to unlock more of these buildings. Hopefully we can do that in the future and get into some more crusades and get into Act 2 and 3 and 4 and level up through Inferno. So we'll go ahead and do that moving forward, I think, but we'll see how the rest of this game shapes out. And if you guys are interested in the story, take a second to pause through each of those maps. And that's actually another really cool thing, is that we're not fighting in the same arena for 15 waves. It is moving through a story and telling us what's going on in this ruined world. So that is all well and good. All right, if you guys are interested, like I said, I will go ahead and leave a Steam link in the description below. While you are down there, there is a Discord server link if you would like to join the cardboard community, the cardboard cooperative community. It'd be really great to meet some of you guys. and continuing to grow the community. If you guys would like to chat and drop some recommendations, that is the place to do it. I will also leave a playlist down there for the first bite if you guys enjoy this style of content. If you like the video, I would very much appreciate a like, a comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. Let me know down below what kind of games you would like to see moving forward in the future, or if there's anything that you want me to follow up on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, this is Magna, clocking out.